Hey everybody, Kyle Goth here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel, and I've got my first reaction to the new Tim Story directed film, The Blackening. This was, I believe, a 2022 film in several festivals, finally opened wide here in 2023. Directed by Tim Story, who gave us the two Fantastic Four films from the aughts. Also did the Taxi remake, the American Taxi remake, as well as I think both ride-along films. There's something else I'm forgetting as well, but Tim Story, who has been actively directing for a good number. Oh, he did the Tom and Jerry movie that I really didn't like a couple years ago. But Tim Story's been actively directing quite a bit for the past 20 plus years, and now comes out with this film. Very low budget film, but I love the marketing for The Blackening. I mean, literally the poster says "We Can't All Die First." I think as a horror fan, I've always been aware of the bias towards having the black character die first. It happens fairly often. In fact, early on in the film, there's even a question of like which black characters survive their films. And it made me even think for a little bit. I had to, think a little harder than normal to try and come up with like, well, is there a black character who does survive their horror film? And my mind only went to like Nightmare on Elm Street 3, but then the character was killed off immediately in Nightmare 4. So it's one of those things that did actually cause me to think a little bit harder about that. And it's true, the trope is there. This is a horror comedy, but I will say it's definitely leaning towards the comedy section. I thought this film had a tremendous opening. I thought it had a great style to it. It opens really strong, playing with kind of the trope of the like initial kill scene. I thought it introduced a number of interesting characters, fun characters, people I wanted to spend time with. I will say that towards the end of the film, it seemed like it was running out of steam a little bit, in that I was hoping it would go a little bit harder into the horror element and play with it a bit more. It does lean more towards comedy, and I think that does kind of hinder its ability to have that lasting effect. But I am positive on the film. I quite liked The Blackening. I would love to actually watch it again. Now, the way in which it confronts the horror genre and its biases is really strong. The way in which it kind of deals with race in a very introspective way, I think. And I really like the fact that it's kind of no holds barred. It does make fun of white people for being white people, but then it also kind of turns the lamp in on itself and makes fun of the fact that the very characters know what they're not supposed to do in a horror movie, and then they do it anyway. It has some laughs both at black and white characters in horror films, and I really think that's kind of fun. And just plays with the tropes. Again, I do think it runs out of steam a little bit. There's some interesting twists and turns, but there was one moment early on in the film, and I would say within the first 5 minutes, where I said, it would be really interesting if A, B, and C happened. And then as the film went on, A, B, and C happened. So I don't know that really took me out of the film, but I wish that it had a little bit more of a clever ending to it, because what it introduced was an interesting idea, but I don't know that it was fully realized with the finale. So I'll say this. I think The Blackening was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the heck out of it. It's not a perfect movie. I wished it had leaned more into the horror, but I had fun watching it. And I was really sad that I was the only person in the theater seeing this movie. I don't think it's performing very well. And to be honest, it had a clever marketing campaign, but at the same time, the film felt cheap. It felt like a much lower budgeted film than I'd hoped for. I wish this movie had gotten a bit more push from Lionsgate. I think it would have been fun to see if Blumhouse got their hand on the idea and really kind of injected a little bit more of that quality look and flavor to it. But I really enjoyed the movie, and I have to recommend it. If you have not seen The Blackening and it's playing at a theater near you, please go check it out. It was a fun one. It was a unique premise, or I guess like it had a unique idea of playing off of the idea that, and I think it worked out pretty well for it, actually. I was entertained. And I like the characters. I would like to see the survivors maybe do The Blackening too, and kind of, make fun of like how far can we really stretch it. That'd be kind of fun. So let me know your thoughts on The Blackening down below in the comments section below. Let me know maybe your favorite Tim Story film, because I mentioned a couple, but he's done quite a few more than even just what I mentioned. Let me know your favorite Tim Story film down in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. While you're down there, please like and subscribe. There are 2 free things you can do that help support the channel immensely, and you never miss new episodes of the show as they drop. Also, you can check out goatfilmreviews.com for my many written reviews. You can find Goat Film Reviews on Facebook, and you can also find me at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And you can also check out my show, Kyle and Nick on Film, that I co-host with Nick Plowchuk from the St. Paul Filmcast. We have new episodes every single week. All those links are down in the description, and we'll see you next time.